In the heart of a swirling crisis at the BBC, the chair of the UK's Culture, Media and Sport Committee has issued a firm stance. This isn't the right moment to swap out Chairman Samir Shah. Her words come amid a wave of resignations and accusations that could redefine public broadcasting in Britain. But is her advice a lifeline for stability, or just a postponement of tougher decisions? Let's dive into the details and see why this story has everyone talking and questioning the future of the BEEB. Just 3 hours ago, our culture reporter Lauren Turner brought us this scoop from the BBC. Dame Caroline Dinenage, the outspoken Conservative MP leading the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, a group of lawmakers who scrutinise issues in arts, entertainment and media, much like a parliamentary watchdog for these sectors, spoke on BBC Radio for the media show. She didn't mince words, labelling Shah's recent testimony to her committee as wishy-washy, a term that hints at vagueness or lack of conviction. Yet, she urged caution against any major shake-ups at the corporation's leadership, especially as they navigate a series of high-profile exits. To set the scene for newcomers to this drama, the turmoil kicked off with the forelight from a Panorama documentary episode that controversially spliced together clips from a 2021 speech by former US President Donald Trump. This led to the resignations of BBC Director General Tim Davie and Deborah Turness, the CEO of BBC News. Shah, the current chairman, has vowed to tackle the ensuing issues head-on, insisting he's not someone who walks away, a phrase that underscores his commitment to reform. Adding fuel to the fire, Trump has threatened legal action against the BBC, accusing them of defamation. The corporation issued an apology, but stood firm by not offering the financial compensation he demanded. It's a classic standoff, accusations of editorial mishandling versus the BBC's defence of journalistic standards. Dinenage weighed in on Shah's role, advising against rushing into further top-level replacements. With the BBC now in the process of selecting a new Director General and even a Deputy Director General, plus gearing up for a charter review, a periodic evaluation of the BBC's operational framework and funding model, she emphasises the need for self-reflection. They do need to have a good hard look at themselves and demonstrate that they are able to provide effective leadership, she explained, painting a picture of an organisation at a crossroads. The root of this chaos? A leaked memo penned by former external advisor Michael Prescott to the BBC board, which exposed internal gripes and set off a chain reaction. Since then, questions have arisen about the board's inner workings, with some suggesting a lack of transparency or cohesion. Dinenage pulled no punches, describing chaos in some parts of the BBC and pointing out that the board itself is implicated. She called for real fundamental changes from within, but stressed that stability is key. Someone needs to steady the ship, someone needs to get it back on an even keel. It's a nautical metaphor that vividly illustrates the need for calm leadership amid turbulent waters. Think of it like a captain steering a vessel through a storm, ensuring everyone stays on board and the course remains true. But here's where it gets controversial. Dinenage raised eyebrows by questioning the accuracy of Shah's account regarding the resignation of former board member Shumeet Banerji. Banerji's resignation letter, shared publicly last Tuesday, revealed that Turness had lost the confidence of most board members, yet he wasn't looped into the discussions. Shah, during a committee hearing, claimed he had consulted Banerji personally, citing a detailed 26-minute phone call. It seems to paint a very different picture to the one that Dr. Shah gave the committee, Dinenage noted, highlighting the discrepancy. She outlined two stark possibilities. Either Shah provided a selective version of events to the lawmakers, cherry-picking details to his advantage, or his not effectively uniting and leading the board as he believes. Neither of these is very good news for either the BBC or Dr. Shah, she added, leaving room for speculation about hidden agendas or leadership flaws. This isn't just idle chatter. Dinenage plans to follow up with Shah in writing later this week, and she's open to recalling him or even summoning Banerji for more testimony. Nothing is off the table, she declared, signalling that the investigation could escalate. Other committee members are chiming in with their own critiques. amplifying the chorus of concern. Labour MP Rupert Huck, representing Ealing Central and Acton, echoed the sentiment that all is not well on the BBC board, despite the polished performances from its representatives during the Monday hearing. She attributed the issues to inadequate consultation and suggested that a truly strong chairman would have averted such a scenario. With Banerji's letter now public, Huck warns, "I fear this matter is not over yet." Liberal Democrat MP Cameron Thomas for Tewkesbury went further, questioning Shah's credibility in light of 3 top-level resignations. Though Dr. Shah claims to enjoy the backing of those remaining board members, these 3 resignations at the top of the BBC continue to leave a question mark over his credibility, he said. And this is the part most people miss. Banerji's letter casts yet further doubt upon Dr. Shah's leadership, with Thomas observing nothing in the hearing to inspire confidence. "I observed nothing in Monday's committee to give me faith that he can steer the BBC through this storm, a storm created by leaked boardroom communications. It's a narrative rife with intrigue, resignations, accusations of selective storytelling, and calls for accountability. Some might argue that Shah is a necessary anchor in these choppy seas, holding things together while reforms unfold. Others could counter that his leadership has exacerbated the mess, with questions about board transparency hinting at deeper dysfunction. Is the BBC board truly a united front, or is it a house divided? And does Dinenage's plea for patience buy time for real change, or does it shield those at the helm from overdue scrutiny? What do you think? Should the BBC shake up its leadership to restore trust, or is continuity the wiser path? Does Shah deserve a chance to prove himself, or are the doubts about his stewardship insurmountable? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's discuss whether this is a turning point for public media or just another chapter in its ongoing saga.